All right, here we go, boys. Episode 4, Supersiders Presents. Thank you for joining us. If you've noticed, my mug is a little bit different today. I want to give a shout out to Boxy Mouse. That's this little insignia here, this logo. It's a buddy of mine, a local friend that actually is a customer, Jay O'Neill. Jay, if you're seeing this, shout out to you, brother. He's wonderful at design. He's innovative. He's got great creativity. I actually purchased a few skateboards from him. I didn't know that he had skateboards as an opportunity. I'm into skating a little bit on the side. You wouldn't know it, but and then he also has these really cool buttons. The local Culvers, the kids always have them, so I see them there. He gives them to me. He used to give them to me and my kids, and he even makes a magazine. It's almost like I wouldn't call it a skateboard magazine or like a graphic art magazine or like a tagging magazine, but it's really cool. It's really cool. So again, shout out to you, Boxy Mouse. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Jay, for that. It's a pretty cool little logo, cool cup design too. Just cool little thing to keep local businesses going, as well as keeping the family of Supersiders going.
Oh, it's a blessing.
Well, let's get into what's going on recently here. I know we're very busy with what's going on. The storms have been definitely keeping us very occupied. So that's where we kind of want to go into a little bit of what's going on with storms. Most of the time, these are very large hail storms. So a lot of it's being improved right away without actually having to do much back and forth. So how would you handle, just because it's getting approved right away, what are some things that you still keep in mind?
First thing I want to say is this. Let's be honest. A BB can damage something, even though it's a small stone. You can have a 2-inch golf ball size hailstone that's arid and not dense and just break up on impact. Mm-hmm. So I try not to chase the size, more the damage.
Good point.
The biggest thing that we've learned is inspections are wonderful and detrimental at the same time. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to say, if you're doing an insurance claim, 2 things I want you to focus on more than anything. Pick a contractor you trust. Somebody that you believe in, that you think does good work, that you've maybe worked with in the past, and then have them educate you on the process. Kind of walk you through how's it going to go. Yep. So that way you're even comfortable. Because if it's not something you're interested in, you'd want to know before you start, or call your insurance company. The second most important part, gang, is to get a thorough assessment from that said contractor. Hopefully it would be Supersiders, but say you know somebody, or a grandpa, or an uncle, or a friend. Again, if you trust them, that's your guy or your gal. Have them do that thorough assessment and then sit down and review it. Because if you as an owner don't really feel it's substantiated, there's no point in barking up that tree.
Yep. Yeah, why file for a claim when, one shouldn't be happening? And that's kind of where it goes into what we're doing for assessments right now, which you want to kind of explain, because you're the one who...
it's pretty exciting. I can't hold it back. So we've been waiting for a long time. I personally have been waiting probably over a year for this technology. It's artificial AI technology through a drone. And now this drone is particular. I believe there's over 3 million square feet of gathered technology and data, over roofing. So what it will do is it will discern whether that's bird poop or it's a little bit of lichen or algae growth that just flicked off, or it actually is hail. Because again, as a human, you see it, you touch it, you feel it. Yep. It's still hard to get that understanding. And then we have danger. You could fall off the roof, you could slip, or even worse. I think the most less talked about topic on the roof inspections are roof traffic.
Yeah.
Traffic to the shingle, the asphalt, metal. If it's metal, it can dent. If it's clay, it will crack, and you wouldn't know it till it leaked. I mean, so no matter wood, same thing. And I've heard wood shake can be the dangerous roof out there because it's so slippery and it has that algae growth. You wouldn't know it till you slipped. So I would ask you, Tanner, in your industry and what you've learned, a warranty for a roof, what's one of the outs that we find? What's a reason they could avoid it?
One of the main things that we push with Permalock is that it's walkable. You can't void the warranty because you're walking on it. So that's obviously on the other end of the spectrum is where asphalt comes into play, and
so
you can void the warranty by excess foot traffic is typically what's worded in there.
Hold on. So you're telling me we install an asphalt shingle, got the little rocks on it, the aggregate. You walk on it too much and there's no more warranty?
Yep. because if you release too many of those granules, that's what's protecting the shingle from the UV rays.
Well, how do I get a satellite installed? Or my chimney, repaired because it's crumbling like baby Beirut. I mean, what am I supposed to do?
That's a very good point, and that's why we like to push Permalock whenever we can, because it's a superior product with a superior warranty. But it's a very good point when you're going into things on inspections rather than just going up there. That's where we've been thinking, and we've been looking into these things like the drone software, where yes, it saves or helps protect the longevity of us, the workers, as the contractor, on how many roofs we're going on. One, going on a steep roof can hurt your knees, your hips.
Oh, yeah.
And if you ever do slip and fall, that can obviously drastically reduce the longevity of your career.
Well, yeah, and I think that's one of the things we preach here at Supersiders is longevity. And
Yep.
how can we preach that if we're not impacting and having plans for that, right?
Right.
I look at it like this. If we're saving time, saving wear and tear on the roof, being more efficient, and saving the bias, let's
Yep.
talk a little bit about that.
Yep. So on either way you look at it, someone's either making money or someone's losing money.
Right?
So it's hard not to be biased in the situation. When it comes to insurance,
They're spending.
they're the ones giving out the money to front the roof cost. So obviously they're pretty biased on what's going to be considered damage.
And to be fair to them, they want to keep premiums low. I
Yep,
get it.
they want to keep premiums. You don't want anything to just be covered. One, you don't want a bunch of shingles going in the landfill for no reason, just
Right.
because it reduced the life expectancy by 5 days. Something like that. Obviously, you don't want everything to be approved as damage when it's not really affecting the usefulness of the shingles.
The functionality, yeah.
Exactly. So that's where it also comes into play when a contractor goes up there. They know that they're going up there, they're going to be making money. Maybe it's a commission check for a sales rep, something like that. And they're seeing something that could be hail, that couldn't be hail. Let's circle it anyway. Let's see if it sticks.
Oh, man.
Something like that. And now
That bums
you have
me
a
out.
few of those going on a job. Now, I've seen enough of them. I circled 6 on this slope. 3 of them, 4 of them were, hey, let's see if it sticks. That's enough to definitely justify whether or not to warrant a claim.
Well,
And if you're now basing, hey, file a claim because I think you could get it because of these damages, and it's not really that damaged, you're not doing a service to the homeowner at that point.
I'd rather show them facts.
Yep.
And I think this AI technology can do that. The other thing that disheartened me was I saw a lot of folks came before myself would chalk the roof, and they're just chalking metals.
Mm-hmm.
Inverted valleys, box vents that exhaust.
Mm-hmm.
These are thin metals. These are the first to go.
Yep.
You and I both know, working these files, it's not a smart idea to go after a roof over metals. We want to see actual damage in the shingles. We want to know, is this a viable claim? It hurts our reputation. It hurts our reputation with the customer.
It's a good thing to touch on is it can definitely get some roofs approved just because of the metals being damaged. Would you necessarily want to replace an entire roof just because there is some cosmetic damage on some metal? Putting 4,000 or 5,000 pounds worth of
Absolutely not.
asphalt in the landfills?
Absolutely, it makes me sick thinking about it.
Yeah, not very responsible. So that's why we try to stay away from just looking at the metals. It's collateral damage. It will help us show whether or not
An
we should-
event.
Yeah, was there something that happened? Yes, we'll look at it, but we're not going to determine to move forward because of it.
I like to use it as supporting evidence if it's not a lot on the shingles, but it's there, and then I find it somewhere else on the siding. Now these metals really support the event happened.
Yeah, it's just not some random thing. Oh, that was actually a golf ball.
Yeah.
No, it's probably not a golf ball because there's hail here, here, and here.
Right? That's a lot of golf balls.
Exactly. So it helps justify things, but it shouldn't be the main factor of determining, should I file a claim? Should I not be filing a claim? It's just, you also have to do a little bit of responsibility. You could possibly get a roof approved, and as a homeowner that could be enticing. Hey, I could get a free roof just by doing this. But at the same time, insurance companies are going to catch on to it. They're going to start eliminating things out of the policy. There's a lot of matching exclusions now, and that's mostly to do because of people going after the valley metals and box vents, stuff like that. Now we're seeing a repercussion on maybe now your siding's not going to match because they don't want to pay for your whole roof because of some flashing.
So sometimes
So-
you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't.
Yep.
And
so,
that's why I think it goes, sorry to cut you off, but I think that's why it's so important to have that contract you trust.
Yep. It's very important to explain those things. You make your own decision on what you want to do. Everyone has their own stances on whether or not they should be filing a claim over X amount of damage. So that's where you should find that contractor who will go through the processes, do the assessment, and then hopefully give you all of those facts so you can determine, okay, I want to file a claim, or I don't think it's really a responsible thing to move forward, either if that's for the environment or if it's for your own premium discount, something
Yeah.
like that. You know, if it's not going to stick, why even file? Why get the headache? All that stuff.
Yeah, I really feel that, filing a claim is a fickle process. You really need to be educated. You need to have all the facts. I think that's where that trust comes back in. And the last thing I just want to touch on, I think I overlooked, was I do a lot of leak repair inspections, right? Somebody will call me up, Douglas, there's a leak. Can you find it? I'm crawling in the attic. I'm crawling around the roof. I'm digging my head into little small crevices trying to find it. And most of the time it's flashing, where you have a wall meet an area of roofing of a slope, and it wasn't replaced. And the homeowner always tells me, well, that wasn't covered. The insurance company decided not to cover that. And I kind of listen. I don't want to tell them they're wrong, but I just think if Tanner took no every time the insurance company told him something, we would lose millions of dollars. I mean, seriously, that's how serious it is.
We could never do things the correct way if we just listened to how the insurance company told us to do it.
And again, going back to the bias,
Yep.
let's be fair with them. That's their bias, just
Yep.
like our bias is to try to get more work. So that's where we said that AI technology
Yep.
is a fair playing field, right? If it's 90 percentile favorable, saying it's a hailstone damaged this roofing shingle,
Exactly.
it's hard to dispute that.
Yep. And that's where, just to touch on like the replacing the flashings, I don't know a situation of where you wouldn't replace the flashing. If you were to replace the roof and do it correctly, I don't know a situation that you wouldn't.
Unless maybe you're trying to cut a corner and get out of there quicker.
To do it properly, I don't know a situation.
Correct. 'Cause
There is definitely situations of where it does happen
I'm just wondering
but
why
to
I
do
keep
it-
saying it.
properly and making sure that you're doing it for the longevity of the structure. There isn't a way to do it. So the only way that it is being done is because, it's not going to be paid for X. It should be done either way. If it's not going to be paid for by insurance or not. And then that's where you have to have that contractor that you trust and explain the process. If it doesn't get approved, this is what's going to happen. Are we going to supplement? Is it going to be out of pocket? X, Y, and Z. Explain those things so when it does happen, you're not, I had the contractor replace it, but he also charged me $1,000 when I had no idea it was going to be coming.
Or what it was for.
Exactly. So
No, you said it again, longevity. It just makes me smile. There's so many ways to keep that
just
longevity of a company, and this is just one of those ways. We're constantly innovating and being curious, right? One of our core values to find new ways.
Yep.
This is exciting. So again, yes, give us a call if you're interested. We have new drone technology. We don't need to walk on the roof. We don't need to fall. We don't need to be scary. We can do it in a minimal time. And as Tanner was educating me, we can even do it where we can meet with you through a Zoom call
Yep.
or over the phone, and we can run through the program and explain to you where all the damage is. If we were doing a Zoom, we could screen share. So we can make it really painless, if you will.
exactly. And then we're 100% transparent. You get to see every single photo, where it's located on the roof. And rather than trying to figure out, hey, does Thursday at 6 p.m. work for you? No, I have baseball practice for my kid. Can't work out a 6 p.m. anytime this week. Limits a lot
And
of
let's
times
not-
that we can go.
And we don't want to wait 2-3
Exactly.
weeks and have it get
Well,
further
what
down
about
the road.
5:30? I have a 6 o'clock right there, but 5:30 I can do a quick Zoom meeting and it'll only take 15 minutes. That's a lot more reasonable rather than us driving 40 minutes to get out there, explain to you all this stuff. now we don't need to worry about meeting times where we can schedule a lot more to fit inside your time frame a lot better because we're not having to drive 40 minutes that way, 40 minutes that way. Now
Right.
we can only see 2 people. Now we can see 3 people in the time that, normally it's our set times. It
More
helps a lot.
efficiency, back to longevity. It just always comes home.
Exactly. More efficient for both the contractor and the homeowner. Now you're not having to sit around, wait for someone to get out there, wait for us to show you every single photo on our phone. Rather, you can have it on a desktop. You don't have to see it on my iPhone mini. There's a lot better ways to do it now with the technology that we're given.
Right, right. I'd like to also, without forgetting, give a shout out to the St. Paul Saints.
Yep.
Thank you, Saints. We love working with you guys. It's fun, it's exciting, it's engaging, and we've been helping some folks. We've been setting some appointments. We've been getting out to do some storm inspections,
Yep.
Assess certain issues with rot and just random things that are going on, which, again, we wouldn't have met any of these folks if we weren't at the game.
Yep. It's a good way to just allow people to get back out in public where you can have a nice scenery with being downtown still, downtown St. Paul,
Right?
as well as you get to experience a fun atmosphere like the Saints. They always have things going on in between the innings. It's a ton of fun and fun for us to work it too because we get to watch the game as well as get to talk to people. It's best of both worlds.
Last game, Sunday night, they had everybody down on the field with food trucks. I mean, it was
Yeah, they
fireworks.
had
Yeah.
food trucks and fireworks.
You can't go wrong. So it's a
Yep.
fun event. So thank you to the Saints. And then, forgive me, what was the last thing we were touching on?
We have a few software type stuff that we're developing
Yes.
and coming into play. We have a nice presentation software that is going to be coming soon, so we can have generic things to just have as information gathering stuff for homeowners, or we can have it very specific to your specific needs, what products you're looking at, what colors you're looking at, all that kind of stuff. We can tailor each and every single type of presentation for that homeowner, as well as we're planning on revamping the website. Jackson has been working very hard on social media.
Thank
as
you,
you
Jackson.
guys can see. He's posting a lot, as well as he's working on behind the scenes of gathering nice video content, other kind of content of where it's nice and easy to engage with the information that we're providing rather than us just throwing a bunch of literature at you and, hey, good luck reading all this. A lot of it won't make sense, but here you go. Rather, we're putting it in a video, showing you exactly where it's located on the house, trying to make it easy. Just like how I would like to learn in school, we're trying to do that outside of school for the homeowner and for their home to make sure they're making the best decisions possible.
I'm excited. If you can't see it on my face, gang, let me just say this. If you've been interested at any point, and let me just say the past 24 months, through all this COVID debacle, and you were interested in getting somebody out, you either had a window that was a little shabby or wouldn't shut, you had some siding you were concerned about or had some woodpecker damage, or a roof with a possible leak, now is the time. Now is the time to call Supersiders. In the next 30 days, we're unveiling this wonderful process of education and engagement. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a new presentation that we're going to share with you guys. We're going to give you the lowest, fairest price possible with the industry's best warranty and products that have phenomenal coverage. I mean, between all of that, how do you go wrong?
It's hard.
It is. It is.
You really got to make a mistake somewhere, and we try to make it full
Dummy proof.
dummy proof so that us as
For big dummies like me that I don't
dummy,
screw it up.
like we're all contractors, so
Right, right.
we can mess things up every once in a while. So
Sometimes we're knuckle draggers.
that's why we try to make sure that it's as smooth as possible and that everything is just a good experience when it comes to buying this home improvement project, anything like that. So
It's intimidating.
yeah, because it can either be a lot of money or it can be a very intense thing when it comes to probably your largest investment. You don't want to be choosing the wrong contractor. You don't want to be choosing the wrong product, and
You don't want to overpay.
you don't want to overpay. So that's why we try to do all the research, be curious, our core value,
Yep.
and we're picking the best materials for the best pricing, all that stuff.
It feels good, man. It does.
It does.
Well, let's end it on that note.
Yep.
Supersiders number 4. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll be back for podcast number 5.
Cheers.